first is Halloween, then the Thanksgiving holidays coming up, and celebrations really make it difficult to keep our eating habits in check, especially when it comes to consuming salty foods. But does all this indulging hurt our health? Well, last month, the FDA, we reported on this here on Fox 16. Last month, the FDA unveiled new voluntary sodium guidelines to help Americans reduce their risk of heart disease, the country's leading cause of death. Now I have Molly Parker here, a registered dietitian with Arkansas Heart Hospital, to explain more. So the new FDA sodium guidelines, what do they really entail, Molly?
So the FDA is focused on lowering sodium in our food supply. So we've got packaged processed goods here as well as restaurant foods that the FDA is trying to get sodium content lowered kind of across the board. These new public health focused goals will help Americans to reduce their sodium consumption by about 12% over the next 2.5 years. So from an average of about 3,400 milligrams per day right now, down to 3,000.
And that could probably make a really big difference, you think, in heart disease, lowering the blood pressure?
Yes.
All right, so you've got an example here of some foods that are salty foods, things we like, you know, our chips, soups, a lot of processed foods.
Right.
That's the key. And these over here are not so processed, more, you have some raw fruits and vegetables, obviously that's one way. But you also have some canned vegetables. Is there something to look for in the canned vegetables?
Absolutely. So over here on the right side of our table, we've got all of our kind of regular processed and packaged goods, typically high in sodium. So really good to check those labels at the grocery store. If you always look on the back or the side of a box or a package, you're going to find the nutrition facts label. You want to look for on the daily value, about 5% or less per serving.
You want to see 5% or less per serving.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we've got regular canned goods over here. Canned goods kind of across the board, typically high in sodium. Beans, soups especially, are things like broth. We've got a low sodium broth over here.
Because broth is salty, but you say low sodium broth.
Right, this is an unsalted broth.
Okay.
And we've got some no salt added canned goods here as well. Very, very, very low in sodium.
Now, if you still think there needs some seasoning, you can add it, but you can control the amount that way rather than taking what the manufacturer already puts in it.
Absolutely. About 70% of our sodium intake comes from these processed and packaged food. It's only about 5% that we add during the cooking process and another 5% that we may add at the table.
All right. Now, we know salt makes things taste better. So what things can we do to overcome the lack of taste that salt brings us?
Exactly. So one, spicing food up is always a way to overcome that. Lots of garlic. We can use ginger, onion, lemon. Vinegar, also a great flavor to boost.
But lemon's got a kick. I mean, vinegar's got a kick. That's true.
Absolutely.
All right. So what are some other things we could do? You talked about what are the foods we may need to avoid? You have this for like cold cuts. Like that's a thing sometimes. There's a lot of salt in that process.
Absolutely. So one single serving of cold cuts can have about 20% of your daily value.
And how much is a single serving of cold cuts?
2 ounces.
2 ounces. Is that usually like one slice or is it a half a slice?
Look, depends on the thickness of the slice, because some of them are thin slice, some of them are thick slice nowadays. But probably most of us put a little bit more than 2 ounces on a sandwich.
It may say 5% or 10% for but what is the serving size, the portion size? We may put 2 or 3 or 4 portions on our one things.
Exactly. I wanted to use a great example here of the chips and cheese dip. You know, in Arkansas we love our cheese dip. So when you look at those on the nutrition facts label, the sodium content doesn't seem outrageous for one serving size, but we need to consider, are we eating
how many chips in a serving? Is it 3 chips in a serving?
It's 7. So,
7?
Right.
We're going to eat a half a bag, let's be honest.
So that might be a couple servings. So we've got a great healthy swap here. We've got some yellow tortillas that we've just put on a parchment paper on a baking sheet and baked. And we've got some fresh pico de gallo. So not only are you going to get in some veggies there, but you're going to cut out a ton of that sodium.
Those veggies don't have salt.
No salt.
This may have a
just
little
some hot
salt
sauce.
in it.
Very little.
Very little, but you're baking them. You're not frying them and adding more salt to it. And also, could you put the parchment paper down? You know what you have to do with that sheet? It's really easy to clean. That's the best part about it. Molly, thank you so much. If people want to find out more, where can they go?
American Heart Association online or Arkansas Heart Hospital.
All right, arheart.com. Molly, thank you very much for being here this morning. All right, I think we're going to go check in with Ranch right now. You say I play.